Welcome back to the King of Spooks. Today we continue the Fan Fright series where the battles come straight from you guys, the viewers. In today's special matchup, two dark forces unite against three of the most iconic monsters from Scooby-Doo's early days, and somewhat the most notable monsters of all time in all of horror fiction or stuff like that. It's the witch and zombie from Which Witch is Which, taking on the werewolf, Frankenstein, and the vampire from I believe, you'll have to give me a second on this one, a galloping gaggle of ghosts. I believe that's the right one for it. At the end, we'll take a look at, it's not really like an extra figure, but it's the Gypsy. I'm not considering her too much of a monster. The reason why is because she's more relevant for plot than she is an actual monster really used to like scare and chase the gang. I'm only considering a monster for the King of Spooks tournament if they actually chase the gang, are really relevant to the plot. But the Gypsy just kind of sets the plot, sets the castle, which, so I'm not giving it to her. She's just going to be an honorable mention, maybe, bump up a little bit on the scoreboard for the werewolf, vampire, and Frankenstein's monster. But yeah, let's take him through our 5 factors and see who wins. So the witch's laugh and voice instantly send chills through the room. She's loud, unpredictable, and knows how to get under your skin. The zombie is her muscle. He's slow, decaying horror, he moans. He has that lantern the first time we see him. I think it's when Shaggy got lost, so they had to ask for directions, and they talked to that dude. That was pretty funny, I loved that. But facing both of them are the 3 heavy hitters. The werewolf. We actually don't get to see him that often. I think we see him 3 times throughout the whole episode. I get that it was one guy doing all these. But it kind of sucks. I think the werewolf actually looks really, really cool. Better than the future final episode, I believe, with the werewolf or wolfman taking sheep. That episode, if anybody remembers what it is, comment down below and tell me what that name of that episode is. Frankenstein monster is slowing. They had the whole thing where Shaggy called Scooby Igor to get him up off the table. And then the vampire was the mainstay of the episode. He was the big bad. Like, the guy mainly used the vampire as his main villain. Overall, between, I want to say, the witch and the vampire, because the werewolf and Frankenstein's monster are kind of equal when it comes to the zombie. I want to say the first factor goes to werewolf, Frankenstein, and vampire, just due to the fact that they are more scary and more well-defined than the witch and the zombie. It's really, really close, and I almost want to give it a tie, but I'm not. I'm just going to say that the trio win out, then duo. So, design and style. The witch, purple cloak, the green skin, hooked nose. She is perfectly mixed of classic Halloween, classic Scooby-Doo, and, Scooby-Doo charm as well. The zombie is very simple but creepy, tattered clothes, gray-blue skin, and the lifeless stare. He also has a Lego minifigure, which I've had ever since I was a kid. It was the first one I got. I honestly wish I would have got the whole series, but that was the only one I got, was the zombie tree Lego set. On the other side, the werewolf, he looked really, really good. Straight out of 1960s monster cinema. Frankenstein monster, he's not much detailed, as though you do get the over-ending presence of a Frankenstein's monster, but the vampire just carries his side. He's elegant, mysterious style. He looks really, really, really good. So in this instance, I'm gonna give it a tie. I'm gonna say that the trio and the duo both tie. They're so iconic. and so natural. Now the impact and legacy. The witch is really one of Scooby-Doo's most recognizable classic monster. Her whole voodoo thing is so awesome. I mean, we have the witch's ghost. We have so many like witch monsters. We also have so many like vampires, werewolves, not many Frankensteins, but we have a lot of zombies too. When it comes to impact and legacy, all these monsters have a huge amount of impact and legacy, I'm going to say it a lot, into the whole Scooby-Doo mythos. The zombies impact is solid too. He's part of the Eerie Monster lineup that define the show's tone. However, in terms of Scooby-Doo specific legacy, when it comes to the werewolf, Frankenstein, and vampire, as I said earlier, they mainly represent the most traditional monster trio in history. Their influence extends beyond Scooby-Doo into nearly all of pop culture. As much as I want to give it to them, the werewolf, Frankenstein, and vampire, I'm gonna have to give it to the witch and the zombie when it comes to Scooby-Doo. Even though I really want to say it should be the werewolf, Frankenstein, and vampire, I'm still gonna give it to the witch and zombie. Now, when it comes to the story strength, this one is completely, like, even to me, I'm just, it might be a tie. It really might be a tie. I love the swamp, as you see on my background. If I put it up, it's the witch's hut on my computer. I love it. I love the swamp. I love the whole story. Curses, spells, they do voodoo. They have voodoo dolls, needles in it. The zombie is like her. She summoned him from the darkness. And then you have the werewolf, Frankenstein, and vampire. They're all like doing wacky stuff around the castle. They're trying to find the jewels. I mean, same with the zombie and witch. They're trying to find a hijacked, what are they called? Not banker trucks. I can't remember. I gotta give it to the witch and zombie when it comes to story strength, as much as I want to put it almost as a tie. And then finally, the difficulty to catch. The witch, when they finally go on to that the sunken cruise boat, I can't remember what it's called. They got them all the time down in Louisiana, and I so want to ride on them. It looks so awesome. When the witch and zombie eventually go after, they think they found the money because Scooby and Shaggy brought up a couple bags. They hid in them, and then they like messed with them, and then they're running around playing potato sack or whatever, the one where you jump in a sack race. They have so much going for them. I love it to pieces when it comes to the difficulty to catch. On the other side, when it comes to the werewolf, Frankenstein, and vampire, I do believe the gang actually managed to catch 2 of the 3 of the monsters, but ran away. So it kind of extended the episode a little bit longer. When it comes to the difficulty to catch for these 2, I'm gonna give it a tie. When it comes to the witch and zombie versus the gypsy, vampire, werewolf, I know it seems weird that it might be a tie, but I really do think that it should be. Now the final verdict with 2 ties and 2 category wins, the Fanfreight matchup it ends up in a draw. The witch and zombie supernatural edge balanced perfectly against the power of the werewolf, Frankenstein, and vampire. No clear winner tonight, just 5 monsters proving why they remain icons of Scooby-Doo. Now, we did have the honorable mention of the gypsy. She really was not as flashy as the rest of the gang, but she was really cool. Now, we are going to do a part 2 of this video. We're going to take each of the monsters up against each other. So the witch, the zombie, the werewolf, Frankenstein, vampire, gypsy. And we're actually going to take them throughout their whole thing. We're not going to put them like, oh, gypsy is way more scarier and fear factor than the witch. No. We're going to go through each of the factors and actually kind of talk about what makes them really unique and give them a rating to see how they do. So I hope you guys go watch that with me. My name is Voodoo. Please like this video. Comment down below if you think it really should have been a tie, if you think it should have been, you know, the witch and zombie, or you think it should have been the trio plus the gypsy. And then subscribe to the channel. We are at 88 subscribers out of 100. I'm really hoping to hit 100. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.